It's like a boomered me sound. I don't understand why, but OBS removed my microphone as the default microphone for some reason. And because I had an extra bar in the audio mixer panel, I didn't spot it, which is, yeah, it's just boomerism, isn't it? I'm a sod for functionality. It's part of the way I think. I just use this software at the very basics of what it can do because it, as far as I'm concerned, it's enough. So when I have a system that works, I usually stick with it until a better one comes along. And what forces a better one? Necessity, as with all things. But anyway, spoke, didn't I, about the Iran in previous videos. I've not really talked about it a lot because it's one of them as to where I can really just sit and wait and see it, having already discerned what the outcome would be. And it's like, the way that it stands, and I know I've thrown some of almost like a biblical slant on it. Everything that the Iranians have pulled or plotted or schemed since October the 7th, because let's have it right, Hamas are a proxy force for Iran, same as Hezbollah. These proxies, they're part of the Iranian military is these proxy groups they've got. We all know it, everybody knows it, everybody gets it. Every move since October the 7th has completely backfired. All of their thinking has failed. It was at one time it was a countdown as to, right, who's going to do something really fucking crazy. And the world waited, and then suddenly Hamas did something really, really beyond this, beyond the pale, insane. And then it's a matter of, okay, the world's just suddenly woken up. Suddenly people start to see it like the Israelis do, and it'd be a matter of, it's about goddamn time. And then this terrible, terrible miscalculated calls to arms, which is, we've just killed a load of Israeli civilians. This is it, boys. Everybody join in. Didn't work at all. Nobody really followed up the attack. It's like it took Hezbollah a couple of weeks. They started off operations as a reprisal for the beginning of an offensive on Gaza. They didn't just all leap up. They seem to think that it's like, okay, we've started a really suicidal war here with Israel. Everybody jump in and join, and the whole world's like this. What have you done to those people? What have you done? They're just people like us. They're not soldiers, they're not part of a regime. It's like they're just people. And you've just butchered them. And, Allahu Akbar. It's like, really? It's like, I don't think you really understand who Allah is. It's like, go and educate yourself on your own religion. I'm sorry. But you're a bit offside there in as to what Allah likes and what Allah really permits. Because we're all talking about the same boss here, aren't we? What have you done? Killed a lot. Oh, juju. Blood magic. Well, maybe that's not the intention, John, for him to pull off some kind of blood magic chaos spell. It's like, well, that's the effect that it has on those who believe in them sort of things, and you'd be surprised how quickly you believe in blood magic when you see blood spilled in front of you, and you're like, whoa, violence is a bit extreme, isn't it? Once I think I might still be barred. I got barred from a pub where I used to get on with them quite well. Lived quite close to it. Wasn't a regular there, but I'd call in about once a fortnight. It was like a good drop-off sometimes. Where it were, get off the bus to go home or drive one more stop up the road and have a pint. Sometimes I'd do that extra stop and have a pint. And once some fucking foolish kid of about 18 brought his best friend and his girlfriend to the pub, and a conversation broke out where best friend and girlfriend let guy know that she was breaking up with him and she was now going out with his best friend. They thought a public place might be the place to do that, right? And lad who'd been ambushed punched the guy across the table as hard as he possibly could. Like smash, and got him right in the mouth. And I'd never seen anything like it in my life, where the guy's front two teeth just dropped onto the table. Like in one piece, smash, straight out of his face. And you could hear it. And it was like someone had deliberately smashed like ceramic against stone. It was like bang, crack. Right? The guy who did it did not get barred from the pub. When the story got out, as to because everyone saw what had happened and went, that's a bit out of order. Right? He didn't get in no trouble. And the guy who'd got punched, he was saying, oh, there's no need for violence. It's like, yeah, there is. You deserve that. You should not pull that. You did that to your mate, and you deserve a proper punching. You deserve to lose your front two teeth for that, what you've just done to him. Sorry, I'm old school. And he didn't get in any trouble, right? I got barred because I said, I don't think I've ever seen a better punch than that in my life. And I got barred. I got barred for saying that it was a fucking good hit, that. And the way I'm wired up, I could not admire it. For violence is no surprise to me whatsoever, really. It has to be something really bad has to happen for me to go, ooh. Fighting and that kind of thing, it just doesn't faze me one bit. I just witnessed to, just raised around it. So to me, it's like, so don't get all, to me, it's healthy that I don't get all excited. And that I'm like, oh, not find humour in it, but actually admire it. It's like, fucking hell, he hit him. I'd say I was the one who got in trouble. I was the one who got barred. I'll not have you talking like that in my pub. Well, you're quite happy not to visit any repercussions on someone who's just knocked someone's fucking teeth out. You know. This is a matriarchy for you. The landlady of the pub, she's already decided who the victim is here. And it's her, because he must have done something wrong to drive her away for her to start fucking his best mate. It's like the position is already fixed. Be careful what you say. Queen Bee has decided who the good guy and the bad guy is, and Queen Bee abhors the idea of violence. So even though she was kind of excited by all the happening of it, she was like, ooh, a bit of drama. As soon as somebody said something rather obvious about it, gone. It's the world we live in. We abhor the idea of things like that, and I see it and I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a bruise, that. It's going to be a bruise. You might want to check that out. It's like, that might give you a fucking permanently ugly face, that one, if you don't get your ass to the doctors. You what? Yeah, I think you've broke your eye socket, mate. What tells you that? Well, one of your eyes is full of blood. Is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, so that kind of thing, it's been a long time since it's fazed me. I don't like it. What gets me, because it reminds me of certain incidents in my own life where you see a bone sticking out, because that fucking really hurts. It kind of smarts, and it's like a cold feeling, and it's like, oh, it sends a shiver through you as to, I remember what that feels like. That ain't fun. And it's more of a shock than pain as well. It's so, oh, fuck me, I bet that hurts. You know, like pain beyond pain. I don't like that. I don't like to see the bones hanging out. That fucking That does me out. Oh, oh, oh. But it's like, having, lived the life I've had, I've also been around one or two pretty fucking, oh God, shit, bad things that have happened at work and things like that as well. And then you say the long driving career on the roads as to where, that when you sat in that long queue and you're like, fucking hell, motorway, like moving at a snail's pace, and on the other side closed, and everyone just has to stop to look at them fucking bodies in that Mercedes Benz that appears to have just exploded as if like a fucking bomb went off, and have a look at those fucking charred corpses just for a second through the side eye before they drive through. Oh, I'm not so bothered about looking at them, at all that fucking horror. I'd rather just get home, but I might as well look at it now. I'm in a queue behind a load of people who've just got to have a fucking look. Well, they're going to drive past and say, damn, I wish I hadn't seen that. I really regret not having seen those dead people in that car. Blood magic, yes, absolutely, for real. It's like, what are you like when things get thick? How quickly will you, right, submit when someone reaches for violence? How quickly? Will you stand, or will you say, okay, I'll do whatever you like, please don't hit me? Where do you stand? And the truth is, most people stand strong when it really doesn't matter. Or if they get thrown down hard, depending what it is, depending who it is, mostly. Or they'll stand. But you take a hostage and stab them up, and then suddenly everyone's like, okay, well, yeah, we'd like to cooperate with you. We get the message that you're a little bit serious. As to in other in other parts of the world, shows of gratuitous violence against people who've done little wrong or nothing wrong serve a wider function of telling everybody or teaching everybody you could be next. Remember in 1984 where when finally broke, and it's a matter of do it to her, don't do it to me, do it to her. Just stop hurting me, do it to her. Blood magic. It's like the oldest form of public control as far as it goes. Now, that is a common practice in a few countries around this world. There aren't that many of them left, but Iran, last Friday, call to prayer, they hung them 5 teenagers charged with war against God. That's a terrible blasphemy, I'm afraid. Those people haven't gone to war with a god. They've joined forces with God and gone to war with a tyrant. God's on their side, you fucking idiots. And they're there fucking hanging them from cranes. Just lift them with a crane, hang them. Make sure everybody sees what happens to those who stand against the regime. Everyone gets the fucking message. It's like you get to a level as to where that doesn't work anymore, and fuck me, what have you, gee, you've got the Fremen on your case then, haven't you? You've got dirty power coming at you. It's like that. Once that has been set in motion, and it was set in motion on October 7th, it's like the only ends that Iran are going to get it. And then you'll still get it where you're more or less silent for it. Might because they blocked me that they're silent. You guys like your Max Blumenthal's and even your Galloways be like, Well, October the 7th was a false flag, even some of them say, or was arranged or allowed by Israel. And it's like, if it were a false flag, it was the greatest false flag of all time because it lit a fire that ended the Iranian regime. In a straight line, ended the Iranian regime. What, John? Ended Iranian regime? It's like, yeah, it's all over. What? Yeah, because what's happened is everything the Iranians have tried to do to expand the war has backfired. They've pulled off some right tricks, haven't they, when they've started lobbing missiles about to those who aren't so defended. I have a guy over in Tel Aviv who's keeping me up to date. Seems that his part of Tel Aviv, the centre of Tel Aviv, has been struck by 2 missiles in 3 weeks. 2. Although they've been kept awake most of the night, or once or twice a night. They've had sirens going off and being told to get to the shelters. The missiles don't make it through, and when they do, they hit empty. They hit nothing. They hit empty buildings. No one gets hurt. Just that some work for some builders and decorators as to where it's probably a good place to go looking for some work if you want some extra shekels. Get your ass to Israel. I dare say they're in need of some painters and decorators and fucking plasterers. And it's no big deal. No stage of this have they come near. It's like the kind of missiles that they need to hit Israel and do them harm. They're medium. They haven't got that many of them left. What, John? It's like, yeah, it's estimated that their capacity for firing missiles has been diminished a minimum of 80%. I've been keeping up to date. I've been doing my homework. I've understood how this war's going to play right from the moment that it kicked. I admired the touch of, you got to see the final episode of season 3 of Tehran, and then the day after the war started. And they delayed that television series for about 3 years. And then it goes on, and then the day after, Ayatollah Khamenei dead the day after. It's like, fuck me, these people can do war. They're really good at it. It's like all you fools out in the world saying, Messianists, greater Israel. It's like, no. It's not greater Israel, mate. The plan has always been Middle East superpower. Always. The framework was built by that. People laughed at it. That Trump organisation, that Board of Peace. Every country in that region has signed up for that, apart from Iran. Part of what's going to happen next is that Iran are going to be forced to join the Board of Peace. And then we're going to have the creation of Middle East NATO. What? Yeah, well, they've got Pakistan. They've got nuclear weapons. And Israel, who all the fools in the world think have got nuclear weapons. I don't particularly think they've got them. I think they just did enough to trick everybody that they've got them. They deliberately trick the world to think they've got them. Is my opinion, because it's a lot cheaper to do that. More flexible in some ways. To know that option isn't on the table, right? But your enemy's thinking it is, puts you at a massive advantage in any kind of warfare. Just saying, if the man I am today wanted to set up a ruse to frighten an enemy, I'd like him to believe that I was armed to the teeth, wouldn't you? Don't have to be, but if he believes it, it's just as good as... And I can't see past that capacity, because there's not that many people who've got a capacity to think like that. They have. They've had it for a long time. You don't know who you're up against. You're up against a serious group of people. And it's like, in my estimation, it's like the wider world could do to learn something from the Jews, Israelis. Learn something from them. Not just write them off as to say, oh, they run out. It's like, right, learn something from these people. Because they take life seriously. And look at the reflection of that society as to when the state goes to war. And their goal is to lose as many people to lose as few people as possible. You don't hear so many reports, do you, about there's not been a massacre of Israeli troops in this entire campaign. This entire wider war that started Gaza, moved to Hezbollah, moved to Iran. So it's like hilarious shift. I'm yet to talk to friends of mine who are Pakistanis about the new reality in the Middle East, in the Gulf region, is that Pakistan, in 3 weeks, have become the main military power in the region. And they've got mutual defence treaties with Saudis and the Emirates. And Iran have fired more missiles at their neighbours than they have at Israel, seeming to think they could trigger a wider war which would have Russia and China join the war on their side. This is a fatal, absolutely the most ridiculous miscalculation that you could think of. That is the work of a madman. The planning of an absolute fool, seeming to think he knows the minds of his neighbours, when the minds of his neighbours are like this. They're like this. They're like... You know what I mean? They're not sat in fucking mud huts. Now it's like Pakistan has got a real reason to be friendly with Iran. Real reason to be. Had and has now even more so, because fuck me, Pakistan can bully the fuck out of Iran now. So can Turkey. They've got no military left. They're completely isolated from the rest of the world. They've got no allies. Russians are calling for an immediate negotiated end to the war, as are the Chinese. They've been trying to say it's not. There's no end game. There's no plan, and it's like, you guys don't fucking understand this kind of politics at all. You don't understand big geo thinking, and it's like you need to spend a few years getting over yourself to understand larger games, larger pictures. This one's had a big picture attached to it since Trump got in first time, made all that headway with these old Abraham Accords as to where there isn't really a third world, is there, where it comes to knowledge and communication anymore. It really all comes down to funding, doesn't it? The IT technological age has hit the whole fucking world and brought its populations up to speed at different rates. I don't think there's a third world country anymore, not on the information stakes. It's like Iran's way of doing things has been made fucking obsolete by new technology that they did not see coming. they've had their military decimated. They've got thousands of tanks sat there, and if they were to roll them out, would lose every single one of them because their enemies have supremacy. You don't hear that very often. You would hear it used. You don't get it said very much because in a lot of wars around that region, supremacy is always just guaranteed. Taliban haven't got jets. Taliban haven't got fucking surface-to-air missiles. Taliban can disappear into the fucking caves and live to fight another day. The Republican Guard can't. No. Many people live in Iran. It's not a number I've even looked up. Fairly high number, I'd say. About probably double the population of Britain. I might have picked up the number 90 million. Is that about right? It's like this is what was a sort of a market economy, right? With a bullshit regime just smashed on top of it that isn't really compatible with it. That just bleeds it and bleeds it and bleeds it. Spends all its fucking money on weapons. In its way, it's no less or more sophisticated than this place. And when you look at Tehran, major cosmopolitan capital city, famous place, almost a fortress in an ancient world. Beautiful city. And its positioning to the far north make it, as far as Iran go, for a long time thought as being almost impregnable because of its air defence. Like a couple of years picking away at that, and it's a matter of suddenly you've got no planes, suddenly you've got no radar, suddenly you've got it's like these guys. I say, I look at you weigh what they've moved towards by way of this, their air defence capabilities and rockets and rocketry, foreign technology, Russian technology mostly, air defence weapons, surface-to-air missile launchers. Got weaknesses when they fight Americans with that kind of weaponry, and Israelis as well. Strike missiles. Second you get a radar, that it gets a radar lock on you, you get a radar lock on it. Press the button and you missile. See ya. Gone. What? He's like, oh yeah, they've had them since the 70s. They've got missiles that home on active radar detection. So it's like, turn your radio on, lose your radar. Turn your radar on, lose it. Turn your radar on, lose it. It's like, you really think? You really think that when a major power of the world decides to go to town on you and go to war, that they're not just going to systematically use the right weapons to defeat your air defences and destroy them? Well, they did. They send the stealth fighters, the strike fighters, to soften them up. And then it goes layer after layer after layer to where now in Iran there's Apache helicopters able to operate unmolested. A-10s everywhere. It's like these are strategic destruction aircraft that you don't put in the air. If your enemies have got any kind of anti-air, they're pretty vulnerable. You bring them in when it's done. You bring them out. You bring them in to clear out that ground forces installations, and also have the means to destroy anything that's fucking moving and looks military. You've got them things roaming around. The people in Iraq, the people, something that I've not heard directly this has happened, but I reckon it probably has in the old imagination as to where it's confirmed that B-52s have been joining the attack. Big old B-52s are able to roam in Iranian airspace. Fucking carrying every weapon you can think of. It's like, oh shit, they modified them so they can carry loads of cruise missiles on the wings as well as that massive penetrator payload. It's like, oh fucking hell, and you've got nothing to bring one down. No, and they're fast and they're high level. It's like, bet you there's been a lot of people in Iran treated to some real flybys. Flybys. They do as good a job at disheartening your enemy as dropping bombs. Just flying over and not dropping nothing. You've shown them that one before. We own the skies. You can't move anything without us knowing about it. And days ago, Trump were mouthing off to them because he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing with the IRGC. He's played a game of 4D chess that came out today when the Pakistanis said we're ready to broker a deal here. It's like, thank you. Done. Like, what does that mean? Well, it means those mutual defence pacts that were signed recently, well, it looks like Iran breached those when it attacked its neighbours, and Pakistan are in a situation as to where, these bits of paper that we've signed, these international treaties now kind of demand that we go to war with you, and war with us is something you can't fucking handle right now, and the idea of it might get you negotiating and thinking a little bit. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates you now, and you need to get all your fucking soldiers that are unable to fight, because wars don't work like that anymore, and you need to get them to those sites out in the desert that have been at all their entrances and exits blown to bits, and go and dig your fucking personnel out before they die. That's the size of it. As to how much, and we don't know, of the Iranian military is actually trapped underground, trapped where they've been hidden in secret bases just to avoid air attack. How all of the little hidey holes have been found and they've been buried. Like, that's a terrible thing to think about, John. It's like, yeah, isn't it bad that, and that'd be war, and that'd be legitimate targets. Having all that shit underground has just led to them being just buried alive. And, oh God, you can look at the places that they've destroyed, and it'd be a matter of, in recent years, Iran had put out videos of these places showing off. Look what we've got. Look what we've got. This is impenetrable, and giving away key information to their enemy about how to go about destroying them. They've been so blasé, they've given away intelligence to their enemies as to say, okay. So an altered strategy for destroying underground structures has been unleashed and been like, oh no. It's like, oh dear me. Oh no, what are they doing now? The JDAMs, bigger versions of them, much bigger versions of the JDAMs, dropping bigger bombs, and it be B-52 can drop 32 of these penetrator bombs on the same site, in the same hole, and it's like, oh my fucking God. Now, these people building all their shit underground has just meant that their enemies have adapted to, okay, what's the best move for how to take this kind of thing down? And now you're getting hit with technology that was developed fighting the Taliban, hiding underground and in caves. And it's like they came up with all kinds of solution for killing them in the air. Well, this is the final solution for killing people hiding in bunkers. They've turned bunkers into tombs with the weapons they've got. It's like, war's changed again. Drones, missiles, add jet fighters, add Like the US have got like some of the best reconnaissance planes. They're known for it. They just have free reign over Iraq for weeks. They can't move anything without someone finding out about it, and it's been that way for a week or two. It's like I read the Guardian version of the war, which is saying they've bitten off more than they can chew, and they don't have a plan, and they think that boots on the ground matters in this situation. It's like, nah, boots on the ground doesn't matter at all in this situation. Not for Trump, not for America, not for Israel. Never did. It's like Turkish boots on the ground. Yeah. Pakistani boots on the ground. And it's like the IRGC guys, what's left of the Iranian military, have got absolutely no interest whatsoever in having a war with Pakistan and Turkey. None at all. It's done. Game over. That's come round today, that added piece of information as to where the Pakistani, it's like, yeah, suddenly the Pakistan's become massive big shots because they've still got a big old military. Everything they might need to wage war, including nuclear, are now friendly, interested in a better deal with Iran, and sat right on the fucking doorstep. Checkmate, you're done. And then the beauty of Trump, because the media I were looking at were too slow to realise that he was taking the piss in a big way, and they fell for it. Whoever this IRGC spokesman that the left just laps up and doesn't seem to realise that, you know, these people fucking mouth off all the time. It's more like 90% of what they do. See, why are you taking these people's word for anything at all? They're leading you up the garden path. And whoever's giving those statements out, as he's just saying things. They're not in a position where they can strike out and destroy all these things that they say they can. No, if they could have done, they would have done it already. They are smashed to bits. Because anything they've got left, if they try to use it, they know they're going to lose it because someone's going to see it. Iran is not Afghanistan. It's not quagmire. Well, you've got it, dickhead saying quagmire. No, quagmire. Strait of Hormuz. Spoke about it in previous videos to where I severely doubt from previous activity that they've got anything left to threaten the Strait of Hormuz. They'd have been your primary fucking targets. Softened, smashed to bits, and eyes on them. As to where I've seen pictures of ships in the Gulf being escorted by A-10 Thunderbolts. It's like, can you think of a worse matchup ever? A attempted small boat attack or an attempted mine lay with little boats. Can you think of anything absolutely more deadly to little boats and fucking jet skis and dinghies and small forces like that, which they would use to attempt to attack tankers, right? What the fuck chance have they got against the eye in the sky and A-10 Thunderbolts? It's like this Strait of Hormuz thing, right? It's like the US have got all their gear there. They've got all the kit. They've shown off new weapons they've got. Like loads of them. The bigger JDAMs. The, stealth-coated Tomahawk missiles. Black ones. Black Tomahawks. What are they? Stealth missiles. They don't get shot down. Copies of Iranian drones. The Iranian drones that have been doing really well in Ukraine for being cheap and decent. The Americans got their hands on an intact one and have replicated it and turned it into a better one called the Lucas. Like 25 grand each. And filling the skies with them. Carriers for them, launching like 30 at once. It's like we're using ingenious Iranian tech against them. They think they had an edge because they've got these drones. They've got like really good drones that are tried and tested. And then when they get into the field, those drones find themselves destroyed by American versions of the same drones. It's like drone on drone combat's a thing. It's like, yeah, big thing now. And then you start looking at the sort of stuff that's been the vehicles deployed to deal with drones at the minute. It's like, oh fuck me. I saw a little documentary about a new missile system that's got on loads of American units for destroying drones. It's like these are the cheapest fucking rockets that for years that they've been used. It's like these are just cheap bottle rockets because you just need to knock them out of the sky. So we've made these guided cheap rockets. Boom. Yeah, big problem using a $250,000 missile to bring down a drone. We need a cheaper way of doing it, and they've built a missile system for drones. Improvised, not new technology, old technology. So it don't need that much punch, does it? I remember seeing a weapon once that was being sold by an Israeli defense firm on some documentary that were trying to make the Israelis look like warmongers. And this guy had developed a stone thrower gun. Like basically something that you could just fill with pebbles or stones that just fired them at high velocity and turned them into pretty fucking lethal things. You know, like the stone would go in you, break your skin, take your fucking eye out. And he was trying to sell them as a less lethal crowd control weapon. And I was weighing it up thinking, fucking hell, I'd do that. If you could, with modern technology, you could take that and build turrets out of it. And it could be something that you could just dump and leave. Like what? Yeah, something like that. Bring a drone down. Yeah, something like that. Fill it with fucking holes. Get ding, 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 ding. Knock the propeller off it. See you later. They only needed a low-tech solution for it. Doesn't take much to destroy one. On the ground, you could fuck one completely. If you could get near enough to one, you could probably fuck it with a claw hammer. You could. You could smash it up. Jump all over it. Break all the fins. They're not that formidable, and it's like because they're so dangerous, dropping grenades on people and firing rockets, charging people down and killing them. Because they're so good at that. Well, they're not so robust to be able to handle, a hammer being swung at them. I mean, anything that would fuck the shit out of a motorbike will totally annihilate a drone. So it's like I'm looking through this as to like, okay, so they've let B-52s go on them. They've been dropping B-2s. They were used first. It's like they've nothing. It appears that, say, Iran have not touched a B-2. They've not brought a stealth plane down. Stealth bomber, big payload. Them are the things used for the first strikes. It's like they've got nowhere near them. Too fast, fly too high. Nowhere near. Kaboom. It's like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? It's like the modern age has turned your strategy for eventual domination of the Middle East, because that's what Iran's about. The technology has turned your doctrine into a piece of shit. You should have given up when the Iron Dome was first demonstrated, when you Hamas flunkies launched that first attack that triggered it. You should have known your primary weapon had been obsoleted. And without your rockets, what are you? Without your missiles, what are you? When someone takes that edge away from you, what have you got left? Nothing at all. Your dick in your hand. We'll rain down missiles on Israel and blow them to kingdom come. And they got the missiles assembled to do it, fired them all, and it didn't work. It's like, now what? It's done. It's over with. If you'd have told me 5 years ago Trump is going to take out Iran, and I said, yeah, probably. And the people like, what? Oh, yeah, there's been a deal in the offing for a while, a good one. A good one. Again, to build a multipolar, nation, to build a nation in the Middle East. Not to become one country, but no, to cooperate. They're in a weird way uniquely placed to be able to do that, being that it's really not the countries are lines on maps. The city-states have got power and they mean it. They've got power, the city-states. The city-states around that place, around that region, are all significant places, all advanced places. It's like they're the nations. That part of the world is, in some regards, quite sparsely populated because of its climate. Now is the time where they can have their own version of the EU. They can have their own version of NATO. They can actually do business with everybody and make a lot of money. And I mean, like, big money. And it's like most folk in the world that have this dream of a united, strong Middle East, right? Peaceful and coherent and working together. It's got everything, hasn't it? Really, if you think about it, by way of resources. And at the centre of the world, really, geography-wise as well, it's like a lot of money to be made, a lot of goods and services funnel through there. It's like this can be the greatest place in the world. The greatest place in the world, the Middle East, a paradise, really. I'm not being funny. I'm like, this could be great. It's like, this could be great for everyone. You just have to knock off the brainwashing of the kids, the fucking tyrannical rule, the insane crackpottery, the doctrines of cruelty and torture, and let's all make lots of money. It's always been the deal that was been in the offing. No one came along and offered it until Trump did. You're the only one who had the vision for it all. And now it's like Iran have fallen into a trap. Genius level Trump saying, "Oh yeah, we're negotiating with the leadership. We've made a lot of progress." And the IRGC spokesman, who could be anybody anywhere, no, we deny it all. It's fake news. It's fake news. And then Pakistanis come out and say, yeah, we're facilitating this. JD Vance on his way over. So then the 4D chess, which it took the media about 24 hours to catch up with, they only took it seriously when the Pakistanis came out and said, "Oh yeah, this is done. We've got a deal coming. It's over, pretty much." They're like, "Oh shit! Could this war be over by the end of the week?" Yeah. And on the way to a comprehensive peace settlement for the entire Middle East. Wow. I've been telling you guys, for a bit who follow me when I do talk about geopolitics, that world peace is at hand, or certainly peace in the Middle East is at hand. And that October the 7th, it guaranteed it. Did. And look at how the war's been fought. It's like you've got a serious single-minded force that those out there who dislike would call the Zionists. Scorn the Zionists up against a load of dreaming fanatics driven by hate and emotion and a kind of cosmic will to get revenge on those that they blame for all the trouble in the world. You think those people, right, who say dreamed of this powerful superpower, this powerful conglomerate of nations, who would want that, who would dream of it, they all seem to agree that it could only exist if Israel was wiped off the map. Well, they were fucking wrong, weren't they? Take Iran off the fucking table and you've just automatically just won it. You've got it. It's been given to you. There you go. There's your security guaranteed forever. What, John? Security guarantee? It's like, yeah, it's like in the same group of nations, Israel and Pakistan become allies. What? Yeah. And Saudi Arabia. Turkey become allies. And it's like, how's this something that's just happened? It's like they've all found themselves on the rough end of Iran recently. Their first instinct was to fire missiles at everybody to try and start a wider war. Get everyone involved, and everyone said, no thanks. Why? Why? Why won't you help us? Because you haven't had a moral imperative since you killed all those Israelis on October the 7th with your mates Hamas. You don't have a moral imperative. We couldn't stand with you and face our own people and our God. I'm sorry. No one's coming to save you. You did this to yourselves. You're being punished by Allah. What? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that the Pakistanis, they see it as like that as well. In their way, say a Muslim republic, but Sunnis. So it's fair to say now, right? By way of, I don't know, it's like, we speak a lot of immigration in this country. What a fucking opportunity there is for Sunni Muslims who live in the UK to now go back to the Middle East, or I mean, in the future, go back, as to say, emergence here of what would be a strong combined economy, wealth, good cost of living, cheap energy, friendly neighbours, lifting of sanctions, lifting of import restrictions, the internet for all, 5G technology everywhere. Like, suddenly, you take the shit out of the Middle East, and suddenly, oh my word, does Pakistan become a really, really important and place of massive potential. Say I'm meaning to have a word with the Pakistanis, and I want to say, hey, congratulations on your newfound status as a kingmaker and a major power player in the Middle East, because your only competition for Turkey have got some shit, haven't they? There's nobody going to mess with Turkey in that part of the world, which helps enormously. They'll benefit greatly from having Iran, a non-dangerous neighbour. They'll benefit massive. So yeah, down with tyrants, I say. I think that I've seen and I'm someone who's followed war. I used to be, I'm from Galloway's old school, originally 25 years ago or something. Stop the war, question it. This recent war that's been fought by Israel against everyone else, to my mind, is one of the few just wars that I've seen fought. Just war, John. The poor Palestinians, it's like, yeah, they were always going to suffer the most. Shielding a proxy army of the Iranians, Hamas, a proxy of the Iranians. Yes, the Palestinians have paid the highest price. But it's like, it always seemed that to those crackpot powers, that was always a price they were willing to pay and part of the deal. That those people end up fucking sacrificed to better suit their ends. Like chips on the table were the Palestinians. Don't be so hard on the Israelis for having killed so many of them. Because they're like, every time one of them people died, there was somebody on that side of the fence going, oh, ka-ching, 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 hearts and minds, hearts and minds, hearts and minds, hearts and minds, hearts and minds. Here, get this one. Here, we'll add in front of this one. Here, we'll add in front. Yeah, keep killing them. Keep killing them. That don't last forever. As I do, I attribute this whole thing to a backlash by higher forces. Higher forces. It's like you don't mess with the football gods and you don't mess with the gods of war either. Because when they join battle, they know what they're doing. And they've spent years thinking about it. And the militaries have been simulating it. As long as we've had technology to do so, they've been simulating these wars, these battles, every piece of intelligence collected. It's like Iranian intelligence, right? Not people to be underestimated, but they're not so keen. Their mind in the mind's lazy. They don't take it as seriously as others who they call enemies. They can't think like their enemy either. But their enemy can think like them for the purposes of undoing them. So it's like, I don't say this whole Zionist thing, it's like, I don't see anyone who goes up against them ever winning. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing for the world because they're the elite. They're not the elite. They're people who are demonized by their enemies. People who are demonized by their enemies, the Zionists are not a problem to the world. They're not a danger. You've just been told they have by their ideological enemies. And then I've heard it today off people I've known in the past who've been a bit Jew, calling them Bolsheviks, and it's like, no, they're probably the most Bolshevism resistant people on the planet. What? So yeah, they really do deeply care about the freedom. The least Bolshevik. I keep saying it, Zionist Bolshevism. It's like, no. There might have been proponents in it for other people to make them docile and stupid, but they're certainly not purveyors of it. They might have condemned some people to it. In individual cases, as to say, it's like, to convolute Bolshevik Jews with Israelis and just Jews in general is to understand that Eastern European Jews and Jews of Britain are about as different as two sets of people can be. I'm just saying, massive diaspora of Jews in all corners of the world, and no two are alike, but in some ways they're all alike. What's that? They pay more attention than you are. They're more serious than you. And they're able to achieve great feats because they understand talent and skill and would never fire someone for saying something racist if he made really good springs, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Their adage is more put people to work. It really is. It's put people to work, understand talent. Don't and the biggest one of all, don't discriminate against anybody because the money spends. It makes absolutely no sense at all. As to where we can all learn something from those guys. We can all learn something from them. Yes, there are of those that certainly have got that sort of Ferengi thing going on, but it's a matter of if we had the ability to do that, isn't that what we'd be doing? We knew ways and means as to where we could be quick and jump on the next thing quickly, be organised, not need investors, not need have an uncle, and if he likes the idea, he put the money up and you start the company and you're suddenly successful. It's like, that ain't their fault. If we could do that, we'd have all already done it. We'd have all already done it. It's like we should be real about our understandings of Jews. It's like you throw the baby out with the bathwater by way of in and amongst the ranks of people who identify as that. You've got some of the best and brightest in not so much every field, because like they don't do too much in the let's say the the rubber processing industry or farming, agriculture. No, they're not big weights at that, are they? Jews understand portable wealth. What's that? You get good. Portable wealth. See themselves as portable wealth. It's like, you can take me away from all my possessions and put me somewhere else and I'll just build it back better than it was before because I'm the money maker. I'm the earner, not the bloody business. The business can be rebuilt. I'm the earner. I'm portable wealth. So it's like they tell a story of, if you follow that Jews as they, operate, you find that people who want to learn, people who want to understand, who are listening, understanding, hey, information's kind of currency, isn't it? Knowing is great. Finding out and knowing puts you right at the front. Now, if you encourage that kind of thing, even though people say, it's a bit Jewish of you, isn't it? To be, to make sure, to be sure to go and find out, that's a bit Jewish of you, isn't it? Kind of is, yeah. It's like it's like it brought up to me earlier on the protocols of the elders of Zion. It's like, one day I might make a video about the protocols of the elders of Zion, because it accurately describes the activity of any group of gangsters, criminals together. Doesn't it could be said to be, well, it's accurate about Jews, but if you talk about a collective of where there's bad apples, it's also true of the Italians, Irish, Russian. It's the same as all of them. It could be used to describe any kind of organized crime based on codes of silence and secrets. And it's like, it seems to me that the Jews in the protocols of elders of Zion are like weaponized narcissists. Like, what? Yes, yeah, that'd be what they're being described as. They have patterns of behavior that fit together with other groups of weaponized narcissists. It's like, people who push for that, it's like, I recommend that you guys go and study things like what the Japanese did to the Chinese during the Second World War. Just wear that up. And then run that alongside your notion of Jews as a kind of evil master race with a despicable rule book as how to trick and enslave and destroy. Find out what the Japanese did, and it's like, fucking hell, them Jews seem a bit tame, don't they? They seem a bit tame. Don't seem all that dangerous at all. And then if you want to really get into the nitty-gritty, why not go and learn about what the Indians were really like in the Old West? That's a good one. I had a good couple of weeks enjoying that. I'm like, you are? Whole world full of knowledge. The sort of Jew in me wants to know it all. Wants to find out about everything. Wants to be free to study anything I want to study whenever I want to study it. And what makes me want to improve myself at every turn, as to the more I know, the more useful I become. The more I can carry with me without needing Google, the more that I'm walking wealth, the more that I'm portable wealth. See, that's the thing we all should be learning, is that we can all better ourselves. And, right, we don't have to love each other. We have to just respect each other's talent. We have to say, look, hey, yeah, I can see where you spent your time. I can see what you spent your time doing. And I respect that you're a great dancer. I respect that you're a great drawer. I respect that you're a great artist. I respect that kind of understanding. That is something. It's like recognize talent, and that's to see people's upside. Say, well, the guy is fucking crazy and he's a terrible drunk, but he knows how to get out of bed in the morning. And he can't half fucking sing. Yeah, give him a job. But keep an eye on him. The people who understand and recognise talent take the bad with the good. So it's like, oh shit, it's like, so you've got people who are like, as a sort of group, as to when they're established in their own way, they're actually dead useful because they've got a bit of discernment. Yeah. In this notion of portable wealth, Jewish people don't make a lot of effort to make sure the kids get really well educated, or as well educated as they can afford. Understanding you need to become portable wealth too. You need to become someone who can earn as well. You need to become useful to the rest of the gang, because the rest of the gang are going to make you rich. You're going to make them rich. It's like, we can all learn from this. We can all make ourselves more valuable and more useful. How? In any way you fucking want. You've got the internet. In any way you want. And then me gets a weird idea that just lasts for a second as to I wonder if I should start a YouTube channel with my mother just arranging flowers and just put a camera on it. Like a cookery show. She's no longer in the trade and she hasn't got the flowers anymore, but that was something that you could certainly make it. The most awesome YouTube comment out of would be to take the mastercraft of florist, and she'd be real quick at knocking up something that was really, really, what's the word? Intricate, and just speed it up a little bit. It's like take TikTok by storm. I wonder if she's up for a bit of pin money. The way that ideas, good and bad, just flood in every second of the day. And there be a part of me that can just go along and think as to say, this phone's got a good enough camera in to do something like that. You'd only have to go and take the tripod out of the car and put it on the kitchen table and then go and get some materials. Where would you have to go for materials? There's a place just on Whitworth Road that you get all the materials from. It's like, why not do it? And it's like, because I can't be asked. But it's a good idea, isn't it? Ideas come and go. I think that the exchange of ideas is one of the things that's the best thing about the internet. And I think, people who go around and say, I want money from you, you stole my idea, they should all just be told to fuck right off, because I don't know if anyone's ever really had an original idea. Everything's always the next generation of the last idea, isn't it? There's nothing totally original, but you get totally original every now and then, and totally original causes revolutions, doesn't it? Totally original's like rare and wonderful, and is mostly rewarded, as it should be. So I think we live in a world full of incentives. I think the future's much brighter than people would like to say. And I think that a major feature of this war that's broken out in the Middle East is every one of these countries that's crying, we're all going to die of climate change, none of them are involved in the transition or its formation. And you know what? When that new superpower combines, and we go back to having, because this is something, you have to go back years where I was talking about this, before all this trouble. The Trump being the only president I remember understanding the actual world's balance of powers. Right? He's the only one who understands it. He's the only one who understands the pre-nuclear age balance of powers in the world and understands that there's an issue. He's the only one who gets it. And he's the only one who really understood that the petrodollar in the world is a tax that pays for the military to guarantee that the oil flows. Absolute fact. And it's like, you're not paying your whack. And it's like, it's true, you're not. You're not paying your whack. Trump, the only guys who understands the balance of powers in the world. Now, what you've got is, if you have a strong Middle East, right? Suddenly your BRICS thing just falls a fucking part straight away, because that's kind of a protest, right? It's a protest. The BRICS nations do better all being pissing in the same pot, believe me. That's a protest. It's like, well, you can end that now. You've now got powers in the world again, and one of those powers in the world is the Middle East, as it should be. Now you've got it where Russia, in its way, is always going to be the resource and land power. Don't start a war on the land with the Russians, but it's a big old world. And the sea power, the United States, is still the fucking main power, as it was when the British Empire was the sea power. We are no longer a sea power. We do not fucking exist anymore in the great game. Britain has been removed from any now position of authority or power, because we don't understand the balance of powers. We were once the greatest power in the world because we were the main sea power, and we just abandoned that. We stopped getting paid for it, Bretton Woods Agreement, and we abandoned it. But now where it comes to where it's all carved up, we're nowhere to be seen. Europe has decided to kill itself, while the Middle East is about to explode into new life. That's a major problem for Europe to solve now, where it's like, John, are you saying that in some regards it's like that the Middle East is like on its way to overtaking Europe? Yes, it is. Having used the money wisely and embraced technology. The next one that needs to be sorted out is that the climate change people need to be kicked off. The UN needs to be dissolved, and the people of Africa need to have the freedom to have an electric fucking grid and industrialise. Just saying, if I wanted to make the world a fucking perfect place, and Trump's not got very much time, you know what I mean? If I wanted to make the world a perfect place, my next move would be to dismantle the UN and throw the climate change lobby in the fucking bin. I don't think the people of the Middle East give two fucking rat's ass shits about climate change. I don't think they do. I think it's an insidious plan for them to keep their oil in the ground so others can make great deals of money at the same time while lining their own pockets and become and the political class able to become a almost feudal monopoly on power, having used all of our money to buy all this fucking ancient 1970s fucking dream bullshit fucking hardware that they call renewable energy. Renewable energy is just the greatest thing in the world where renewable energy is viable. There's certain parts of the UK where renewable energy is probably pretty viable, but not all of it. And not the main source. Absolutely not. You see that thing in that TV show, that Landman, where it's like, you've got windmills. Yeah, renewables. Yeah, we use them. It's like, well, why don't you use all renewables? Because it's the wrong thing to use. We use the windmills to power the oil pumps. That's what renewable energy is good for. That's what renewable energy is fucking great for. As to where I'm like, hey, I'm with that. That's clever. It's like, put a power source anywhere. Well, we can't get an electrical supply out here. We don't need to be moving fuel for generators and shit. What do we need? A couple of wind turbines. That'll do it. It's like, fucking think about it. What's it for? It's like all these technologies that we keep developing in a push towards saving fuel. It's like when these technologies start coming together, it's a matter of. So the winning solution is a combination of all. Have you seen these new cars that have come along that have got usually a high compression diesel engine, which make petrol cars seem like boring pieces of shit, really, to be honest. High compression twin turbo diesel engine, and also with an electrical engine built into the same car. Have you seen those? Where it's like, well, what engine size is this? Oh, it's a 1.5. And how many horsepower? 400. How? And it's like, well, it's got an electrical engine as well. And they both run at the same time. And they both work together. It's like, these combination technologies, are we really going to throw these internal combustion engines in the bin? Because the ones we've started to build now are fucking astonishing pieces of kit. It's like, you want to give up on this technology when we're so good at it, and this global warming shit has given these makers and innovators who gave a fuck about it, well, they've unleashed their bloody engineering genius upon it, and they've started to come up with these incredible internal combustion engines, more efficient and more powerful than ever before. Cars, mostly made out of fucking plastic. They've done it. They've reduced the weight. They've increased the aerodynamics. They've done everything they've been asked to, and now you want to just throw the old fucking lot in the bin and replace them with electric cars, which will destroy our roads. That's something that they've not really got. I know I'm off topic here, but I have to mention it. I'm someone who keeps an eye on the roads, and when I'm driving, you're driving, you keep an eye on the road. And where I live, it's full of fucking holes. I was on the M60 on Sunday, going down to Stockport, and the motorway is full of fucking potholes as well. You find yourself on the motorway trying to take slight evasive action to avoid potholes. That's dangerous because your instinct is to do that, but the motorway is very, very long but not very wide. So that kind of manoeuvre is like, whoa, it's risky. People come unstuck, or people will come unstuck, trying to avoid holes in the motorway road where you look at it and you think, how deep's that? You don't get long to react. How deep's that, and what's it going to do to my car at 80 mile an hour? So I'm noticing these fucking holes everywhere, right? And I'm noticing that the potholes now, when they go down, they don't tend to get deep. First, they become very long. What, John? stay with me on this. They become very long. So I'm weighing this up, and it's like, well, water generally causes the pothole, or is a lot to do with it, and pressure. But it's like when that weakness appears in the road, that at start of the hole, every vehicle that goes over it makes it a little bit worse. And then an electric car goes over it that's the same wheelbase as a normal car, but usually weighs twice as much in the same pocket. And my thought is that just pulverizes the pothole and makes it longer. So heavy vehicles, because you see, right, wagons, big wagons have got big wheelbases. And I notice a lot of roads that are falling apart. It's not the wagons that are doing it, where you can see the tracks that have made these big potholes longer. It's the car tracks. These are where the cars have been that have caused these great big long potholes, where it goes down that far, but it's this long. They're everywhere. It's like big heavy trucks didn't do that. The weight is more balanced out with them being a bigger wheelbase, bigger wheels. The weight is not concentrated down into just the contacts of four tires. So I'm like, these things are like steamrollers on road. They're like steamrollers, but they're crushing and making once they get down into the road, they're digging. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, has anyone even thought about this? Am I the first person? Because there's plenty of people out there who are crying that the roads are fucked everywhere. And I keep asking, are the potholes longer than you might think? And then you go to places where I've been on roads where it's like the road is that fucking smashed that you're driving along in what appears to be a track. You put your wheels where the last guy's wheels were, and you're in a fucking hole. And then in places where they've attempted to put more hard wearing surfaces, you know, that rough sort of motorway that seems abrasive. It seems to me that every extra weight is even more destructive to those roads. Where I've seen roads like coming off the motorway, slip roads, where parts of the road have crumbled into dust. Like, has anyone thought about the weight and the water? Anyone? Just saying, we live in a crazy world. It's fucking nonsense. It's like we as a society, certainly because of, you know, the likes of the politicians thinking, we'd thought of everything. When have they ever? It's like, has anybody thought about the future of road coverings? And it's like, John, this seems a bit paltry. It's like, no, our motorway network is our crown jewel. It's the most valuable thing this country has. And it's the reason why anything in this country really has any value. The greatest engineering achievement in the history of Britain is our motorways. Go out anytime you want and go and have a look and tell me I'm wrong. Right? When that thing starts to fucking fall apart faster than they can put it back together, then you've got a fucking problem. It's like the Russians might not have to fucking fire missiles at us to put us into a state of chaos. Our roads could sort that out for us. Ha! It's like we need, as a country, as a nation, as a government, to pay some fucking attention to that. As to, you know, this thing you've got that's real valuable. If you don't take it seriously real quick, soon it'll be gone. And when it's gone, everything else will go with it. Just saying. The future for Iran, to me, looks brighter than the future of Britain. It does. To me, it does. It looks brighter than the future of Britain. Because of what? Because their dumbasses are about to get kicked the fuck out. Ours are entrenched and competing with each other who gets to be the alternative dumbass order. And, this is where we're left. We're now, as I'd say, Britain are probably we are less influential in the world than the likes of Sweden now. We're there with Sweden, Spain, faded, long since forgotten. That's where we sit now. The last tiny piece of our credibility as a voice in the world, as a power, has been utterly, because you see, Starmer he doesn't know enough to take a stand on anything as far as I'm concerned. He just doesn't know enough. And too many people have made an imaginary friend of him, and they've blown his ego to the other side of the world. And the direction that they knee-jerk in is disgusting. Whereas they seem to think if they just rah-rah with the political correctness, which shuts down the conversation, and move forward with economic and industrial suicide via net zero, we will somehow shame the world into behaving more like us. And I'm sorry to say that the world you're trying to manipulate no longer exists. And the people who clap along and bravo you all the way, I don't think they're even relevant people anymore. I don't think they're relevant powers in the world to have any kind of say. I think Europe is just nothing. They're just an absolute paper tiger with no fucking weapons, no military, no ability to project power, no ability to make a believable threat, and clinging to just idiocracies of identitarian cultism communities, meaning cults of identity. You've bent the knee to cults of identity. Once you let the first cult of identity in, you started to let others in. And now suddenly we're beholden to black people, Muslims, gay people, trans people, gypsies. It's like, what have you fought for? Well, to give enhanced rights to every marginalised group of people, and not thought for a minute that there are reasons why certain people end up marginalised, and reasons why certain, individuals don't get marginalised. And it's like, why is that? Because some people see the people's value for whatever skills they bring to the market. They've got more of a Jewish way of thinking about it, and they don't give a fuck. It's like I was brought up in an household where my dad is a bit racist because it's easy. It's lazy thinking. And I first went to watch football matches, right? Where I've been raised in a household where it's actually, you're allowed to say racist things in my house when I was a little kid. And you go to a football match and it's like, he's a black footballer. And you're like, yeah, I never even noticed. I can't consciously ever say. I said it's funny because they used to use racist chanting to try and put them off the game. And if they took it in the right spirit, it was generally, you'd just lose at it, and it'd be funny that you lost. You know what I mean? You'd lose at it. But I'd never seen that where people said that people threw bananas. I think that was a myth started by John Barnes, who's still at it. But I never gave a fuck about what colour someone was, or gender, sex, right? As long as they could play. Never bothered. You could put me on a football team with a member of any race in the world, and I'd be like, yeah, you can play as long as you can play. Can you play? Fine, we get on great. Are you a good player? Well, we'll see. Great. I don't see it. I just never did. I treated everything like I did the football. It's like, I don't care where he comes from. Is he any good at football? It's like, yeah, well, he's my friend. I like him. It's like, those who brought this with them, they've gone looking for it, haven't they, for years? They're just looking for it. They're a hammer looking for a nail. And they had to push and push and push for 20 years for racism to actually appear, I think. To really appear. to give some people an incentive to start mouthing off racist just to get a reaction. It's totally backfired, the political correctness thing. We all know it, but the danger is those who do know it and can organise using it as a lever to take the fucking country. It's like those with the wherewithal. If you've been following my work well, as long as I've been YouTube, you know you've already got the tools to take the country. Like, just hide behind the race card until the moment when you're ready to take the country. And have it where 1 million people could jump on their feet and say, these guys are gangsters, these guys are criminals, these guys have taken over our institutions, these guys have frightened everyone into just giving them a pass. No, they haven't. You're racist, you're Islamophobic. You're the criminal here because you've mouthed off. It's like, don't you know? And some do and some don't. You know, I had a realisation a couple of months ago in correspondence with having a listen to something that Raja said. I wrote back to him. I'm like, the biggest mistake we ever made was going to our Labour MPs and telling them there's something going on here with these gangs. Because they know, they've always known, and they know longer than any of us. And all talking about it ever did was put a fucking target on our backs, because they've always known it's the organising central principle. It's why they're in power. So going to your Labour MP and saying there's all kinds of child abuse going on is just a way for them to be able to come at you. And that's what's happened for years. Years. It's like you've gone spilling the beans to the wrong people. It's like, why? It's like they fucking know this is going on. It's something that it's a price that they're willing to pay. Surely not. No one could be so evil. That's why they get away with it, you fucking naive fools. You can do something that's so stupefyingly evil that people would immediately say, no, that can't be true. No one would be so cruel. Well, you'll just continue to get away with it until it can't be denied. And that's the sort of place we live in, where the knee-jerk reaction is to fucking lie, and that be the state. A lot of people like that too, but the state's knee-jerk reaction is to fucking lie. It's like the state is brainwashed, right? And those who know how to exploit it can just play it like a fiddle. And who's playing it like a fiddle? It's like, well, you know, modern technology and all that shit. It's like we have to assume that every citizen in this country, by the number of phone contracts that have got one of these are the ultimate communication device, better than anything ever had anyone had 25 years ago, better than anything any president had 25 years ago. You can reach the whole fucking world with one of these. And we had a situation in this country where for every week, in more or less every major city in the country, we had a march by politically active Muslims to, for some reason, protest our government, thinking that our government is anything other than a fucking small fry power in the world. We are just big shots who mouth off. We export people and talent. We don't have anything else going for us. Going to mithering our government to do something about Israel. It's like, what do you want us to do? They could annihilate us. We haven't got any we haven't got the ability to project any force, threaten them. We need them more than they need us by way of trade. Seriously. It's like, yeah, they're good customers, but as ours, we can't. No. On the street, it's like, don't you think those people didn't have organised groups, weren't all over WhatsApp, fucking Instagram, fucking TikTok, all of it? Don't you think that those people didn't get themselves organised, create great big social groups where they all found the ability to all just turn up coordinatedly? It's like you can bet your ass there's some clever dick out there who's got, amongst that movement, who's got hundreds of thousands of email addresses. Fuck. It's probably George Galloway. Seriously, probably George Galloway's got it. But it's got 50 to 100,000 email addresses of people who in the past have been politically mobilised to hit the streets, and they know they've got that they can just call up. You see that shit that went on in the airport? Where them guys lied through their fucking teeth and got themselves into a fight with the police. Went and lied through their teeth and played all kinds of games and tricked the local MP into being on the side. And in the end, were a couple of wrong-uns who need to go to prison because they're fucking crazy headbutting people in public. Remember how many people just were immediately mobilised to turn up at the facade unmanned after office hours police station in Rochdale? You see how many turned up just like that? And it's like, when you see those, always consider those to be a demonstration by that movement community. Fucking right, they can mobilise. Fucking right, they'll turn up. Fucking right, they'll turn up in numbers that appear to be crazy. Fucking right, they'll turn up with emotions running high, demanding justice, having been fooled by lying pieces of shit and a cleverly edited video. It's like they are a reactionary force, and our government are beholden to them because they're frightened of them. And they've become legion and got numbers and become networked like never before because of the Gaza thing. They've started to flex their muscles in this country. They've come to realise that they're a mobilisable political force, that if they nudge the government that's in place, the Labour government, they could be talking about being above the law in this country, as to where they're the ones with privilege. We become a minority-ruled Sunni Muslim country. What, John? It's like, yeah. When racism and Islamophobia get conflated by a people who have made it, many of them have made it their mission in life to colonise this country and turn it into Pakistan. If you want to hear stories like that, just talk to Pakistani people. They will tell you. They'll just flat out tell you. They'll tell you to your face to be like, oh, yeah, it's like, we are taking over this country. They'll tell you. And then you retell it and they'll say, yeah, no, John, you're just making things up. It's like, no. You'll talk about a lot of these guys. You get to talking to them and they've got like pretty superstitious notions about the wider world as well. Quite a few of them who were a bit barn pot that I know, who like live in the vicinity of, the area, were getting to talk about biblical end time shit as far back as like 18 months ago. Reference the situation in Gaza. To them, that it's like, oh, this is prophecy. It's a big deal. They fall into it. Now it's a matter of, now Iran has managed to turn the whole world against it. It's like, what's the position here of the British Muslims? I'm going to have to go around looking now, because they were pretty boisterous as to almost yesterday calling me a fool for believing that Iran had not won the war. Local Muslims around here, wherever their news sources are, some guy was telling me yesterday that Tel Aviv has been levelled and that the media are covering it up. What? He says, yeah, Tel Aviv looks like Gaza City now. So I know someone in Tel Aviv lives right in the centre of it, and the single missile that got through yesterday, he says it exploded about 100 yards away from the shelter he was in. Close. Felt it. Bang. Close. It's like, whoa. But that's only the second one that struck, and Tel Aviv is not a very big place. It's only the second one that's got through. And the other one was geographically probably about half a mile away. He said, on a street I walk down most days, bang. And it's like, it's not fuck the place to bits. See, when a bomb hits an urban area, it does more damage than you might think. You know what I mean? It can crack foundations, vibration, concussion damage is what fucks up with a bomb. There's plenty of concussion damage. You see how windows broken for fucking all directions, but not particularly big blast. Those missiles have to travel quite a long way from Iraq. They have to be a decent weapon. And it appears that they've switched to dropping cluster bombs with them, haven't they? Because grenades are able to evade dropping grenades on people. Now, grenades, missiles full of grenades are able to defeat the Iron Dome and can rain down some small-scale damage depending on where they land. But they're firing them indiscriminately into civilian areas because that's the way they operate. No indiscriminate strikes against civilians. There's one they're talking about in the south, but I don't know what that's about. That's a fog of war problem, isn't it? A school full of kids got, and they've been on about it for weeks, got killed, and no one knows what that's about. The guy who fired the missile might know, but he probably thought he was taking something else out, that kind of thing. But it's like, other than mishap, no civilians have been targeted with weapons. None. People have been told to evacuate. People have evacuated. When buildings are getting hit, people aren't living in them buildings when they get struck. They've evacuated. They've hidden. It's deserted. But you know, the Iranians, no, they've tried to hit fucking hotels in Dubai and shit like that with their missiles, and it's like, those guys were pretty tolerant towards you and your shit and your operations and your messing about and your networks. Those states had always been pretty neutral where it came to Iran. Understanding they've got a shitty neighbour and they have to make allowances for them. Well, not anymore. They signed a piece of paper with Pakistan that said that Pakistan would defend them. And never in this world thought the Iranians would fucking strike them with missiles. What do you know? How to fuck yourself in the arse. Because that's how it's ended up as far as I'm concerned. The Iranians have screwed themselves by being at war with God. And God just slapping them silly. Hitting them with reality blasts from every direction at once. As to, your fantasy comes to an end, you deluded, sick, fucking evil bastards. And, the God that you live in service of rains down fire on you. Say, you're hanging teenagers for going to war with God, for rising up against the state. You see, there's certain blasphemies that deserve to be answered, isn't there? Well, that one's been fucking answered. And it's needed to be answered. Say, in my lifetime, it's the only just war this has gone on. The only just war that's been fought in my lifetime. True moral imperative is to say, this is beyond the pale, and this, can we deal with this? Yes, we can. Well, we should, for the good of everybody. Never lose faith in Donald. Seriously. Don't lose faith in him. He understands how it works. I've been nothing but impressed with that guy, how he's dealt with this stuff. I mean it. Nothing but impressed. Almost. He understands his enemy and he understands his friends as well. Like, never underestimate Trump and never lose faith in him. He'll sort it out for you.